everybody, and welcome to a special Halloween stream. Yes, I know you're staring at a table for right now, but that is because we are doing something kind of a bit like a board game, so to speak, courtesy of a Hunt a Killer. I got two of their kind of special game packs because they're usually a subscription service. But I decided to, in order to try them out, I decided to do kind of like the single game packs. So you can either do these by yourself or with a friend. I have Body on the Boardwalk and Death at the Dive Bar. So they're essentially kind of murder mysteries where you kind of put yourself in the shoes of a private detective, and your goal is to solve a murder that took place as the basis for both of these stories. So that is essentially what we're going to do here. I also have a screen share up because Hunt a Killer also has both a hit system as well as kind of the answers for their solutions. And they also come with these solution envelopes that obviously you wanna try to kind of solve it for yourself before you read what's inside and see if you are right or not. So this is basically going to kind of be a blind playthrough, so to speak, of at least one of these games. I'm gonna probably do Death at the Dive Bar first, because that is supposedly the easier of the two. And I'm probably gonna try to kind of keep a bit of a pace, so I won't be doing too much as far as kind of solving anything. What I mean by that is that I'll probably just give like one or two passes of what I think it might be, and then I'm immediately gonna find look up the answer as provided via the site. So I mean, if you want to kind of play along, you are free to put your suggestions as far as in the comment section. I am doing this via StreamYard, so I will feature your comments like so. And I was also thinking, since I don't really have a way of taking notes, I'm probably going to use this kind of posted comment section as kind of a way to take notes, and I will show just kind of what I've had, kind of what I summed up. And we are also going to be going between this and the screen share stuff. So I am going to try to keep things kind of like as angled as best as I could, because right now I'm kind of both staring at the computer screen, which is kind of the live feed, as well as the camera feed, which I couldn't really do too much of an overhead because I don't really have a long USB cable. I am doing the overhead courtesy of my Sony ZV-E10, so that way I don't mess around with my webcam. I mean, I kind of have to like resituate to my usual setup after I'm done with this anyway. So yeah, both games should take around 45 to 60 minutes. I also have a third game, but it is a jigsaw puzzle, and I'm not sure if I have enough room to do that. And we'll probably do a lot in regards to the two games anyway, so I might save that for another time. But yeah, if you're interested in getting these two games specifically, then I'm sorry to say you probably shouldn't be watching this, because part of playing the game does mean that I'm going to have to spoil the deets, so to speak. And I'll try to do my best to angle this and the in-game materials as best as I could, because again, given how everything is angled. So that is essentially what we're going to do. So as far as the the manual goes, "Welcome to Hunt a Killer, Death at the Dive Bar." Hello there, Samurai Matt. Glad you can join us. Contained with this box is everything you need to solve the murder of Nick Webster, the owner of Old Scratch Tavern in Princeton, Indiana. You will assume the role of a private investigator to uncover the truth about what really happened to Nick on the night he died. Along the way, you will investigate suspects, string together clues, and crack a few codes to unravel the mystery and bring the killer to justice. And this is the inventory list of everything that's in the box. So we have our private investigation letter. We have the letter from Carmen. We have a newspaper clipping. We also have a suspect list. We have security camera footage. We have a crime scene photo. We have a threat letter. We have a couple of detective notes. We have a coaster from the bar. We have a menu. We have a traffic violation. We have a ritual flyer. We have a couple of boot photos and an addressed envelope. And we have the deputy notes. And we have a Good Fences printout. We have a bottle opener, an empty matchbox, and a locked deposit bag that supposedly have 3 more items inside, and we have the solution folder. So those are our items that we need to use to solve the murder. And I will also spend time in between reading kind of the stuff on there to kind of show what exactly is going on, so that you can kind of explore the game kind of along with me there. So kind of have this a little messed up. So okay, so all right, so kind of like oh man, this is gonna be a little tricky. So kind of like this. Okay. Oop. Okay, your mission in Hunt a Killer, Death at the Dive Bar is to identify the killer of Nick Webster. Working alone or as part of a team, you will need to discover clear means, motive, and opportunity to find the killer. Only one suspect will fit the 3 categories, and discovering who it is will allow you to identify them as the murderer. To accomplish this, you'll need to carefully identify them. Carefully read each of the documents in the box, examine the items included as evidence, and crack codes hiding key information. We checked everything in the box to see that it contains all the items. Okay, and the first document to look over is Letter from Great Investigations. Okay, so So we're going to outline the case and gives tips on how to conduct the investigation. She also gives you a few tutorial codes to break. From there, the rest of the documents and items are yours to explore. Read through everything, take notes, and examine the items. Okay, so we are trying to find the means, the method of the murder. So we need to look at the clues found at the crime scene to determine exactly how Nick died and who among the suspects carried out the actions involved. The motive is the reason why the killer attacked Nick. Now, many people could have killed Nick, but without a clear reason for why they would want him dead, they cannot be a strong suspect. So we need to investigate so we can look at Nick's relationships with each suspect and determine where there were sources of conflict that might have led to violence. And then we need to find the opportunity, the ability for the killer to have been in the scene at the crime at the time of death. Investigating this aspect will involve creating a timeline of the murder and comparing these to the alibis of each suspect. Be careful, suspects might be lying about where they were the night of his death, so be sure to verify their alibis with evidence. So, basically, it's kind of the investigative parts of, like Ace Attorney and stuff like that. Or I think, doing like certain puzzles like with Professor Layton, just in board game format. Shoot, and I have to hit the restroom real quick, so I apologize. I will be right back. Okay, my apologies. Alright, so... Okay, yeah, I'm trying not to show the password because there was a password to get to the hint system. Alright, so... there's also... a code-breaking guide. Hello, how are you doing? We're doing more of a board game today, with, courtesy of Hunt a Killer. Oh yeah, I should mention this is not a sponsored video because they do sponsorship with YouTubers and other content creators. I actually was brought on to this brand of games, courtesy of a YouTuber who does a lot of, kind of internet rabbit hole, content. He goes by the name of Nick Crowley. And while I may not be too much of a horror person, I do like horror when it's either campy or the kind of stuff that makes you think. Not the kind that either prone to using jump scares or excessive gore. I'm doing pretty good. So yeah, I thought I'd do something a little bit special for Halloween. So yeah, we're gonna be doing kind of more of a board game thing. So I do apologize if you're seeing like a lot of table stuff at the moment. I do also have a screen share up, so I will be switching between the two. Just to kind of generally give you kind of stuff that's going on. And the reason why we're doing the overhead is, again, this is going to be more board gamey stuff. So, and unfortunately, I don't really have enough to pay for a multi-feed via StreamYard right now. Okay, so, with all of that said, let us begin. Here, I'm also gonna keep the code breaking guide a little bit. Okay. So, yeah. All right. So, with all that said, let's get started with Death at the Dive Bar. Okay. Hello, investigator. I am so glad you've joined. By the way, this is the document that I'm reading. So, I'll have it upside down first, and then I'll like flip it over and kind of give you a brief scan of it, just to kind of give you a sense of what I'm reading. Okay? So, this is from Gray's Investigations. Hello, investigator. I am so glad you've joined Gray's Investigations. I am excited to be mentoring a new member of our investigative team, and I trust you are up to the challenge of solving this crime. Your client, Carmen, was struggling to get anyone to listen to her before she came to us. I don't know what the local authorities were thinking when they ruled Nick Webster's death an accident. As soon as I took a look, I knew she was onto something. There's no doubt in my mind Nick Webster was murdered. It was just a matter of figuring out who killed him. Carmen's already managed to identify 4 clear suspects, each of them more than capable of committing the crime. Oh, can't read because of your old PC? Oh, that's okay. I mean, I'll kind of have it closer to the camera for a brief bit. And I'm also reading it out loud, so. I'll try not to go too fast. Sorry, I'm answering a text real fast. It's concerning a project that I'm working on. Okay. Oh, shoot. Nudged my mic a little bit. All right. Where was I? As you're working this case, pay attention to your suspect, means, motive, and opportunity. Only a combination of all 3 will reveal the killer. When it comes to alibis, you should be able to corroborate everyone's whereabouts at the time of the murder. Anyone who can prove that they weren't at the scene of the crime is probably in the clear, but it's not enough to simply exclude innocent suspects. To truly crack the case, you'll need to work out who the real criminal is and why they committed the crime. I'm enclosing all of the evidence Carmen sent. As you review her notes, remember, a good investigator never takes a suspect at their word. You should always be able to find information that confirms or contradicts someone's claims. Oh, and I should warn you, a little familiarity with code breaking often comes in handy in times with this. Unsurprisingly, people with something to hide often use whatever methods they can to conceal their true intentions. I had to familiarize myself with a lot of different varieties of cryptic communications over the years. I left you an example of one of the most common types of codes I have encountered to help you get up to speed. But don't forget, once you understand the principle, there's a lot of different ways to apply the theory. Alright, I think I've given you all the advice I can. You should have what you need to find the killer if you're able to interpret the evidence. Good luck. Okay. So, right away, there's full instructions on how to solve ciphers can be found in the instruction manual. The cipher is intended to be used in example only and does not pertain to gameplay. Okay. So. Alright, so as far as Alright, so there's actually, behind the letter, there are these sample codes. So, shift 1, left arrow B. What this is saying is that every letter in this encoded phrase needs to be shifted back one place to crack the code. So B becomes A, C becomes B, D becomes C, and so on. So, this first word, XIFO, X becomes W, I becomes H, F becomes E, and O becomes N. So the first letter is when. ZPV, so Z becomes Y, P becomes O, and V becomes U. So U. And let's see. And shift 3 is moving 3 letters, and shift 8 is 8 letters. So this is, so Z becomes W. 3 from K is H. And then we get A, T, E, V, R. So whatever. So let's try to solve the first one. This is when, this is U. So I, let's see, 3 letters back from I is H, G, F. This is F. No, wait, this is still 1. Okay, I'm already failing. All right, so this is H, A, W, V. So when you have, okay, so this is E. This, oh wait, sorry, this is the one that I'm trying to read. So when you have E, X, A, E, X, A, M, oh, exclude. Yeah, I think this is exclude. Excluded. When you have excluded. Here, and if you see me posting comments, that's me kind of typing in notes, so to speak. When you have excluded. Alright. And then you. When you have so I'll type in code example 1. When you have excluded the let's see. All right. I am Alright. J becomes I, A becomes M, Q becomes P, P becomes O. S. S. I. B. Hello. Greetings, Fleetway. L. E. Okay. So code example 1 is when you have excluded the impossible. Oh, and it sends to all of them. Shoot. Okay. All right, now the second one is D to A. Code example 2. Someone keeps sending texts. Okay, so let's see now. We already have whatever. So 3 from you. Whatever. Let's see now. Sorry, I'm also trying to see this at the same time. My brain is melting down. I know, that's kind of how it feels sometimes. Never. Let's see now. Whatever. Let's see. Well, I know the fourth one has to be A. What is 3 letters from P? Going back from P. M. Whatever. Okay, I think, because I think the thing that I'm trying to do is I'm trying to figure out kind of, I'm kind of trying to Wheel of Fortune or Hangman it. If I could get some of the letters, hopefully I could get the word that the letters form. Let's see. K. J, I, H. So hopefully it starts with H. Let's see now. Okay, 3 from Z is X. I know X has to be W. W. R. R. Macaroni tries to Google it. Is it supposed to be macaronis? Yeah, I think it's macaronis because I think macaroons, you have to kind of spell it out. All right, so let's see. Starts with an H. Alright, so I like to think that it's however, because these two are the same, and I think 3 letters from Y, V, W, X, Y. Yeah, I think whatever remains, however. Alright. Here, need to have my legs down. It's kind of starting to hurt sitting cross-legged. Let's see now. However, okay, 3 from L. 3 from L. 3 from L. Is K, J, I. However, P, M. Is it impossible again or improbable? Whatever remains, however. Okay, so O, T, I think it's improbable. Because, yeah, H. There's D. And then there's E. Then there's, I think this is an O right here. Okay. When you excluded the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable. Okay, now this is going to be the really hard one because I have to shift 8 letters to the left. And I think if I hit A, we're then supposed to kind of restart back from Z. So code example 3. Okay, so V, C, A, B, J, M. So, oh my god, 8 letters from V, 8 letters from V. Okay, so Z, Y, X, V. Okay, then we gotta go to U, U, T, S, U, T, S, R, Q, P, O, N. So we gotta start with N. And I think it's oh god. Okay, so the next 3 letters are K-A-B. So whatever is the next letter, then it has to be like two before and then 1 after. So I think the part that we got to find is C first. So, all right, C. Okay, so C, B, A. That's 3. And then we got to go back 5. Z, Y, X, W, V. V? Is that right? Is that right? Let's see. Huh. I think I did something wrong. This is like philosophy. I don't care how it spells. I don't even care. English is not my favorite subject. I understand. Let's see now. Okay. I mean, it'd be one thing if it's like the other direction. Because I don't think that's right. Or should I be going the other way? Should I be going the other way? Because if I went the other way, it would be X, Y, Z. And then it would be A, B, C, D, E. So it would start with E, and then with C, it would be D, E, F, G, H, I, J, K, which that also doesn't seem right. Oh, jeez. Oh man, the shift 8 is... Oh, you got it? Huh, interesting. Let's see. Yeah, because with the code breaker... Be warned, not all shift ciphers use the same shift number for the entire message. A shift could change numbers between letters, words, or lines, so pay attention to any numbers and clues codes you may find. Okay. Must be the truth. Okay. Oh, M. There we go. Okay. So whatever remains, however impossible, when you have excluded the impossible, whatever remains, however improbable, must be the truth. That's how it is. Must be the truth. Okay, I think I screwed up. I screwed up I think I was one off. Okay. And of course I don't want to write on these in case if, if I want to play this later with people. Okay. So, with all of that said, the next piece that we have to uncover, and there's nothing on the back of this one, is this letter from Carmen Rojas right here. Okay, so here, let me actually... Okay, so Dear Mrs. Gray, I'm writing because I think my boss was murdered, but I can't prove it on my own. I'm hoping someone at Gray's Investigations can help me. Let me give you a little background. I learned everything I know about bartending from my boss, Nick Webster. He taught me how to pull a perfect pint and coached me on 80/60 routing patrons. He even helped me rearrange my work schedule so I could be home more when my sister was sick last year. Nick was the best. Old Scratch Tavern isn't much to look at, but it's one of those places that feels like home. That was all Nick. I guess that's why it hit me so hard when Nick died in December. It was so sudden and so bizarre. The official story is that Nick was drunk and lost his footing, but too many strange things happened in the months leading up to his death for me to believe that it was an accident. The thing is, Nick has been seeing the devil. For months, he's been telling anyone who listened that there was someone or something lurking out in the woods behind the bar. At first, everyone assumed he was just exaggerating for the sake of a good story. Nick could spend the whole night in a corner booth spinning yarns and telling tales, but there was no way he could be making up the creepy notes he was getting, or the dead animals on the doorstep, or the fires that kept flaring up near the building. He had no reason to, not when things were getting so dangerous. Someone was trying to scare him, maybe even scare him to death. He was obsessed with figuring out who was to blame. He stayed in the bar's office for hours, poring over the security camera footage and scribbling notes. On the night he died, I just closed up when he came out of the office and said he finally figured it out. Before he could explain, he saw someone outside and ran off into the woods. My back was to the door, so I didn't see anyone. By the time I turned around, both Nick and the devil were gone, and all that was left was a small fire burning outside. After I put it out, I waited for Nick, but he never came back. I can't help wondering what he would have told me if he had the chance. After his death was ruled an accident, I went through and found all the notes he had been keeping about the devil in a locked deposit bag I still haven't figured out how to open. I've even found proof that the devil was real, finally caught on camera, like Nick had been trying to do for months. I took the evidence I found to the sheriff, hoping it would change his mind, but he didn't care that Nick really was chasing after someone that night. The official determination is still that Nick slipped and fell off the cliff. The ground near the ledge didn't look like it had been disturbed since Saturday night, and if the authorities had been there, there's no way they count out foul play. Somebody in a devil mask really was there that night, and whoever it was pushed Nick off that cliff. The sheriff may not believe me, but I've been making someone nervous by looking into Nick's death. I've been starting to get threatening letters just like the ones Nick was getting before he died. I'd be lying if I said if I'm not scared, but those threats also prove that I'm onto something. Don't you think? I know I'm close, but I still got questions I can't answer. I'm sending you all the evidence I've collected in the hopes that you'll be able to do what I can't and bring my friend's killer to justice before it's too late. Sincerely, Carmen Rojas. Okay. So, this is the letter. I know the print is really freaking small. Okay. Let's see. Alright, and I think the next thing that we should be looking at is the newspaper article that came out regarding the murder. Old Scratch owner's death ruled an accident, a tragic end to a difficult year. The Petition Sheriff's Office announced Monday that it ruled the death of the Old Scratch Tavern owner, Nicholas Webster, an accident. According to Sheriff Paul McGinty, Webster fell to his death in the early hours of Saturday morning, likely minutes after leaving Old Scratch Tavern. It was dark, and unfortunately, Nick just lost his footing, McGinty said at a press conference Monday morning. Hey, that phrase is from Conan Doyle, creator of Sherlock Holmes. The codes. A neighbor discovered Webster's remains at the bottom of Devil's Well, a local waterfall, early Saturday morning. This was not the first misfortune to befall Webster and his tavern in recent months. In July, Webster told this paper nothing valuable was stolen following a series of petty burglaries, but he said he was taking measures to ensure the incidents did not continue. Sheriff McGinty confirmed that no perpetrator was apprehended for the thefts. More recently, Webster has reported a series of small fires and other disturbances at the bar. Official records show that Webster called Perdition Emergency Services 10 times between September 1st and December 7th. Carmen Rojas, bartender at Old Scratch, says Webster feared someone was out to get him, though she did not know who might have wanted to harm her employer. The circumstances of Webster's death led some Perdition residents, including Rojas, to speculate whether his fall may not have been accidental. However, Sheriff McGinty was adamant that these claims are groundless. I'm sure my deputy would have discovered any signs of foul play. We're looking at someone who was a little worked up, who's had a drink or two. It's tragic, but accidents happen. Webster's widow, Sherry, said in a statement, I have faith in the sheriff's office and I'm so grateful for their help. Nick was the love of my life and I don't know what I'll do without him. Mrs. Webster did not address whether Old Scratch Tavern will reopen, but Perdition's residents will surely miss their favorite neighborhood barkeep. Carol Neubauer, a member of the Perdition's Billiards Club, said Old Scratch's pool championship won't be the same without Nick cheering us on. Donna Goddard, a longtime patron of Webster Bar, says it's heartbreaking. Nick made the best old-fashioned in town, and I know that I won't be the only person having one in his honor tonight. Funeral services will be held Sunday at 11 a.m. at Boggs Funeral Home, followed by a reception at Old Scratch Tavern. And this was the picture of Nick Webster and Carmen Rojas toast to the anniversary of Old Scratch Tavern. Obviously, this is not an actual article, nor these are actual documents. They were kind of made that to look that way to simulate for the purposes of the game, which is cool. Okay, and there's actually also a story on the back. New development for Devil's Well? That sounds pretty suspicious. The scenic waterfall just outside of Perdition could be included in the sale of land if negotiations proceed. Monday's town meeting turned contentious when a preliminary hearing about selling a parcel of municipal land ended in threats against the council members. The meeting, scheduled originally for 30 minutes, continued for over an hour when Joan Campbell stood up during the question and answer period. The tone of the discussion quickly became tense. Campbell identified herself as the founder and sole member of the Save Devil's Well Foundation, an organization she claimed is devoted to protecting the wilderness around Devil's Well. Campbell accused the council of accepting bribes and claimed that the Devil's Well is a sacred site that deserves official protection. She ended by threatening to come to the councilor's home and do what you want to do to our environment. Security attempted to remove Campbell from the meeting, but she resisted, injuring a bystander in the process. Nobody was seriously hurt, said Councilman Dale Lynch, but none of us expected this to get so ugly. The proposed sale would include roughly 60 acres of the land west of town, most of which is old-growth forest, as well as several residential and commercial properties. There's no word yet about the purpose of the sale, but Lynch stated that the council considers the deal advantageous. We think this could greatly enrich our town, said Lynch, but of course if everyone's against it, the deal won't go forward. Okay, interesting. Alright, so... Oh, this is not the right one. Okay, so there's this... Oh yeah, we're going to more of the hints, but there's currently no hint it's listed for the newspaper clipping, so we will continue with, I think... Alright, the suspect profiles. Okay, so I think in total there are 4, okay? So, there's currently There's currently, let's see, one. There's already 2 that are listed from the I think, let's see, 2, and there's 2 kind of, let's see. All right, there's 2 listed from one of the articles. And there's 1 listed from this article. So I think the first one that I think we are going to focus on is, let's see, Donna Goddard. Okay, so this is the criminal profile for Donna Goddard. Okay, Donna Goddard, date of birth September 30th, 1980, gender female, height 5'8", race black, hair black, eyes brown, no aliases. There's the address at 9805 Castanea Road, Perdition, Indiana 47448. Vehicle, silver, 2015 Lincoln Continental. Vehicle registration number 500MIL. Background check, no criminal arrests. Education, associates in business, Perdition Community College. Employment, real estate agent at Hoosier Realtor. Notes, my favorite regular at Old Scratch. Comes in 3 to 4 times a week. Kills at karaoke. Mops the floor with the competition at pool. Always tips well. Handled the sale of the bar when Nick bought it in 2005. Seller was Lou LaVale. His father opened it in 1957. Very involved around town, women's choir, billiards club, Brown's Country Hiking Club. Last person to leave the bar the night Nick died, left maybe an hour before closing time, which is late for her. She seemed on edge, but when I asked if everything was okay, she shrugged it off. Left a note on her menu and a matchbox on the counter for Nick, but he never got the chance to see it, so... we have a menu here, and a matchbox here. At the funeral reception, we talked about how Old Scratch was like a second home to her, how everyone there could see what a special place Nick has made it. Looked like she's been crying a lot. We talked afterward, just reminiscing, and she said something really odd, like, if only I had been faster, maybe I could have made a difference. Before I could ask her what she meant, Nolan came over and she started telling him about a job opening for a fry cook at the Limestone Diner. He was grateful for the lead. We've all been struggling to find work since Old Scratch closed. It's hard to believe we'll ever find another job as great. Went over to her house hoping I could talk to her about the night Nick died, said she's been having a rough time that night, was preoccupied with some work problems. Then I decided to go for a drive, try to clear my thoughts, but it only got worse from there. When I asked about the stuff she left at the bar, she got really anxious and said we shouldn't talk here and hustled me out of the house in a hurry. Tried to call her, no answer. Called her office and they said she left on a business trip, not sure when she's supposed to get back. Okay, so it seems like Donna knows something, at least, that she is not at liberty to say. So that's definitely an interesting thing that we are going to have to consider. This is the bottom part. I think this was I'm not sure if this is like from Carmen's account or if this is something that, you know, maybe we as the personal investigator. Actually, this probably is from Carmen's account. Okay. Okay, so this is the one I think that was causing a ruckus. That was causing a ruckus in regards to the council meeting in in regards to Devil's Well. So this is Joan Campbell. Okay, so she was born in November 13, 1979, female, 5'6", white, brown hair, blue eyes. Aliases: Joan Landau, which was her married name. She is in 2 Country Road 66, Perdition, Indiana, 47448. She drives a blue 1995 Volkswagen Beetle, registration number 333 WIT, W-I-T. She does have a bit of a record. She was arrested for assault in 1997, but charges were dropped. Arrested for trespassing in 2011, charges were also dropped, and won no contest divorce. She has a Bachelor of Arts in Ecology, University of Indiana, 2009. Employment: bee farmer, sells honey at local farmers market. Okay. Her house is the nearest property to the Old Scratch Bar. Not much else is nearby. She's eccentric, to put it mildly. On the nights the bar is busy, she'll sit in a chair out by the roadside and curse at people driving by. And not by foul language. She generally believes she's putting hexes on people. Oh dear. Apparently, she's been claiming some evil corporation from Indianapolis wants to sow the land near Devil's Well with poison or something of that nature. Sounds pretty out there to me, but I've heard stranger things, I guess. Then again, she's also been saying Nick got what he deserved, so who knows. Went over to her place hoping to ask her some questions, but she said she won't talk to interlopers from Old Scratch bent on destroying life. Then she threatened to shoot me if I didn't get off of her property, so I left. Holy crap. I've never understood why she hates the bar so much, just that the bad blood goes back a long time. Wish I could ask Nick. There are a lot of things I wish I could talk about these days. I snuck onto her property when I knew she'd be in town. Took a picture of something that looks promising, but I'm still waiting on the results from the Deviant Tracker boot tread database. Wish I could afford the pro version because light isn't impressing me. Okay. And I think there's also boot tracker information included in part of this kit. So, yeah. And these are the notes. Okay, so I don't think this one was mentioned in either of the articles, but this could also be working with the police department that tried to write off Nick's death as an accident. So this is Chris Thompson. Okay. June 28th, 1992 is his birthday. He's a white male, blonde hair and brown eyes, 5'11". He doesn't go by any aliases. He lives at 131 Carmichael Road, Perdition, Indiana, 47448. His personal vehicle is a 2016 Toyota Prius with a 2012 Dodge Durango as his, vehicle for work. With his registration numbers 876DHR and 745RHR as both numbers. No criminal record. He has a Bachelor of Arts in Criminal Justice, University of Indiana, 2013. He's deputy at the Sheriff's Office since 2016. Okay, so he went to high school with my sister. She said he was popular but had a reputation as a ladies' man. Very outdoorsy, always hunting or fishing, whatever's in season. Went to talk to him at the sheriff's office on Tuesday. He confirmed that Nick's blood alcohol level wasn't off the charts. 0.06 is tipsy, but not seriously impaired. When I pressed him for more info, he told me the details aren't being made available to the public. Says Nick's death was tragic, but accidents just happen sometimes. Yeah, right. Visited him at his home. Seemed annoyed at first, but let me in. Probably didn't hurt that I brought pizza. Snooped around a bit while he was in the kitchen getting plates and stole an open envelope that was at the bottom of a pile of nails on the table. Mostly talked about hobbies. He's in the hiking club too, apparently. Says he's been helping Sherry with some stuff around the house, just trying to be a friend in her time of need. On my way out, I took a peek into his car, noticed something that might be useful. Ran into him at the Limestone Diner, gave me a bunch of platitudes about moving on with your life, as if he has any idea what I'm going through. After he was done being condescending to me, he went to pay his bill and left his pocket notebooks sitting out on the table. Couldn't risk tearing out a couple of pages. Wish I had been too bad I didn't get more. Showed up at my house later that night, scared me half death. Banging on the door, accused me of theft, threatened to press charges. I know he won't. If he couldn't even figure out that Nick was murdered, there's no way he'll be able to prove anything. That he was talking about the pages. Okay. All right, and this is the widow, Sherry Webster. Okay. So she was born on April 2nd, 1982. 5'7" white female with brown hair and blue eyes. Her maiden name is Hauser. And she is at 407 Shelby Lane. She drives a 2015 silver Mercedes-Benz GLA. 971 HBI is the registration number, and she was arrested for shoplifting twice in 96 and 98, with the charges dropped both times, and she teaches at the Perdition Fitness Center. At the funeral, she kept telling me how highly her husband thought of, I assume this was Carmen, yeah, and how grateful she was that she's always been there for him. Lucy Nick has been hard on her, but she's been really gracious. She and Nick were sort of an odd couple. She's so polished, and Nick at his best was kind of a mess. A lovable mess, but the kind of guy who buys a round of drinks for the whole bar, then forgets his wallet. She could be kind of hard on him sometimes. Like once he missed their anniversary and he slept in the bar for a week. But he was crazy about her, called her the love of his life. Courtney, who works the day shift at Old Scratch Love, Sherry's barre class at the fitness center, says Sherry's kind of a perfectionist, but in a good way. Apparently, she was accepted to study ballet in Indianapolis when she was 14, but her scholarship fell through. She broke the news that she doesn't have plans to reopen Old Scratch. I don't know how I could bear it, not when there's memory of poor Nikki around every corner. Stopped by the Webster's house, just dropped off some condolences cards, told me she was staying at a friend's house the night Nick died. When I brought up the possibility of foul play, she absolutely refused to consider it. Nick has been behaving so strangely, seeing things that weren't there, drinking too much. I'm sure he didn't even realize what he was doing. She looked like she was about to start crying, so I didn't stay much longer after that. Okay. So we have our 4 suspects. So we are going to kind of take a look at the hints a little bit. Information provided in the document can be used with other documents to check for and confirm a suspect's alibi. Information provided in this document will help you determine where certain photos were taken. Okay. So the next things that we need to look at are security camera photos, the crime scene photo, the threatening note, the coaster from the bar menu, the traffic citation, a ritual flyer. There's also 2 boot photos. There's an addressed envelope and deputy notes. A good fences printout. boot tread list, empty matchbox, bottle opener, and we're gonna get to the lock deposit box in a second. But first, let us go over the evidence as far as evidences in question. Okay, so this is the security photo capture. So it shows that this is in the storage room, and the thing that we want to pay attention is this figure right here. That appears to have some sort of devil mask. Obviously, it's kind of being obscured by the reflection of Carmen, and this is apparently the figure that's been kind of following Nick around. So, if we go back to the hints, pay attention to the timestamp on the bottom of the photo. So that is right here, December 7th, 3:33 a.m. Look closely to what the man in the devil mask is holding. So he's apparently holding something. Kind of hard to see what it is. The door frame has markings for height on it. And the camera is aimed in a downward angle. How would that affect of the apparent height of the person in the photo? Okay, so it's kind of hard to see what exactly is they're holding, but there's a height marker, and it would seem it would be barely over 5 feet, but that's also pretty much all of our subjects. So that I think the difference between like pretty much the police officer and any of the other suspects is just how far off from 6 foot our person is. And it seems like there's something kind of lit, like a match. And as it just so happens, we have a matchbox that has been used. So that is... the only other possibility is if something is possibly reflecting light, like this bottle opener. So, we got a bottle opener, and we got a match. Alright, and the next thing that we need to look at is the crime scene photo. Crime scene photo here, there is a couple of boot prints, as well as the empty boxes of the empty matchbox. So, what that basically says is that we need to figure out who those footprints belong to, and who exactly was using this matchbox. Oops, wrong one. When using the boot tread list to identify the boot print, pay attention to the tread patterns of rectangles outside the print in the triangle pattern. Rectangles outside the photo of the print and the triangle pattern in the center. Once you identify the boot that made the print, look to see if there's any pictures of the boot among the rest of the evidence. So that's basically how we're going to try to find Okay, now we have this threatening note here. That says interlopers will be banished to the bottom of the Devil's Well. Interesting. So okay, so we need to pay attention to the letters used in the message. Do these letters appear on any other pieces of evidence? That's what the hint says. So now we need to look at Nick's notes. Okay, so these are the notes that Nick has left. So we're just gonna read these in order. They're both of these are double-sided. So, okay, so October 13th. Here, let me hide the current banner just to kind of give us more to see here. Okay. All right. So, October 13th, rock through the back window. Nothing on cams. October 19th, 2 fires in one night. Fire department thinks I'm crazy, but I know it's him. October 22nd, found out when Darlene's anniversary present will be ready. Fire near parking lot. Cam 1, only raccoons. October 24th, broken cam on loading dock, ordered replacement. October 26th, I could see the devil in the woods, I'm just not fast enough to catch him. No footage. October 31st, 3 fires in the woods tonight. Didn't bother to call the fire department. No sign on any cams. Okay, November 8th. Biggest fire yet. That was a close one. November 10th. Remember to pick up Darlene's gift. November 12th. Shadowed by a loading dock. 3:13 a.m. Don't be late for dinner. Reservation tomorrow. Don't want a repeat of last year. November 16th. Note in the mailbox. You'll burn for what you've done. Owl on cam 2. 10:32 p.m. November 19th. Fire by loading dock, 1:56 p.m. Burned wall pretty bad, but no structural damage. Still no footage. Footprints though. Devils? All right, we're back. Sorry about that. My internet kinda went out a little bit. So let me let me get this screen share back. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, so we do have kind of a rough sketch of footprints, which is not entirely the same from what we have over there, but that could mean that more than one person could very well be involved. Interesting. Interesting indeed. Let's see. So yeah, this is just to kind of a recap, this is the first note here. And I think there is supposed to be a clue in regards to that, so pay attention to the dates. They will be used with multiple other pieces of evidence to solve the case. And hit number 2. Look outside the boot print Nick sketch. Does it match any of the boots in the boot tread list? Okay, so we'll have to kind of compare 2 boot prints over there. All right, so let us go back to... Okay, so we are at November 19th. No, November 23. Okay, what is she thinking? Why would she go behind my back like that? Okay, so there is a good chance that one of the female suspects tried to pull a fast one on Nick. Another note, are you ready to die? Something bad is coming. Got to be ready. November 27. I found proof right there in the open. Can't make it out, but I know what it means and what I have to do. Fire in the woods, 4:14 a.m. November 28. See at Mother's, thank God. Dead raccoon in parking lot. December 1st. Fire was big this time. Almost didn't catch it. Not be sure that I will be lucky next time. December 3rd. Nolan and Courtney witnessed for me. Put the papers somewhere safe. December 4th. No in the mailbox. When you are cold in the ground, who will be sorry you are gone? These days, I am not so sure. Still can't crack this code. December 6th. Moved front door cam again. Maybe I'll finally catch the devil in the act. If he doesn't get me first. December 7th. The code repeats. I knew it. Okay. There's a clue for solving the envelope cipher in Nick's notes. Nick's notes can be used with the coaster and bottle opener to get into the locked deposit bag. Okay. So here are the notes that I just read. Okay, now there are 4 bar hints from the coaster. Okay. Okay, so on the back it says the date you can't forget. -Y. Okay. So, -Y is 3 digits. Could a 3-digit code can be used with any other piece of evidence? And that is the case with this deposit bag. With this deposit bag right here. Okay, and going back to the notes. Nick notes can help solve MM. The bottle opener can be used to solve Y. Okay. MM-Y is the code in the locked deposit bag. Okay, so now we are needing to look at the bar menu. So in this bar menu, there is a we need to talk. And apparently, if you read the circle words in order, that will reveal a secret message. So let's kind of do that right now. About land. Wednesday, Devil's Well, 11 p.m. So that seems like the secret message. Okay? If I read those in correct order. Okay, next thing. Okay, the next thing is a sheriff's office note as well as a traffic citation. So okay, so first off, time and vehicle. So the information gives any characters an alibi. Use the suspect notes and deputy notes to interpret information in this citation. Okay, so the citation is as follows. On Saturday, December 7th, there was a silver Lincoln with the license number 500 mil. And it had a citation for having their taillights out. All right, let's see who has a vehicle, a silver Lincoln with the vehicle registration. It ends up being Donna Goddard. So she was available. No, she was the one at December 7th who had a traffic citation at Country Road 66 and Eagleton Creek Road. Country Road 66. So that would be Joan Campbell's house, or at least somewhere in the vicinity of Joan Campbell's house. Okay, and right away, let's also go to the deputy notes. Pay attention to the times noted in the document. Okay, so there's okay. So, badge number 33. Don't know. Badge number 33. Okay, so at 134, traffic stop, red Honda going 60 miles per hour in a 25-mile zone, Ames Avenue, 34 Brewers Cemetery ticket. At 312, report a suspicious person, 13 CR66. No sign of unusual activity on arrival. Search for property called an all clear after confirming building secure. 3:31, traffic stops, Silver Lincoln, taillights out. Country Road 66 and Eagleton Road, warning, which is the citation. Okay, 401, collision between blue Cadillac and black Lincoln, Hawkins Road near the convenience store. No serious injury. Book Lincoln driver for DUI. 6:37, possible dead body called in. Devil's Well, confirmed no signs of life. Called coroner, no ID, but able to confirm victim's identity. Secured scene. So this is probably around the time they found Nick's body. 6:59, made initial search of area. No signs of struggle. On riverbank, fell from the ledge. Seems likely. Okay. Okay. 7:29, coroner arrived, agreed falls, likely cause of death, says he's probably been dead for 3 to 4 hours. So if there's a good chance that he's dead for 3 to 4 hours, that would probably be... Well, that wouldn't be entirely possible because he was still alive at around that time. But, that was their initial observation. Went to 2nd CR66 to talk to neighbor who found body. Stated she was out for a walk shortly after 6 when she discovered body on the rocks beside the waterfall, then returned home to call police. Which I think is Joan Campbell, I think is like the only one that's closest to the bar. 10:22, back to scene. Search of water underway. Haven't found much so far besides some empty beer bottles, probably just litter. 11:15, give update to Gitty. He agrees with accident scenario. We'll proceed accordingly. 12:32, coroner okayed removal of remains. Morty from Boggs Funeral Home to pick up. 13:05, told Sherry she took it about as expected, did my best to calm her down, reassured her foul play unlikely, made sure she called her mother to come down and stay, so she's now alone at a time like this. Okay, so chances are, oh yeah, that's right, we confirmed that these are the deputies. Okay. So now, ritual flyer hint. Pay attention to the starting time for the ritual. Okay. So December 7th at moonset, 3:04 a.m. Okay. Alright. And it's pretty close to the Old Scratch Tavern. Do not park at Old Scratch Tavern. They are the enemy and you will be towed. Okay. So I think there's a good chance whoever has this kind of has a vendetta against the tavern being next to Devil's Well. So protect Devil's Well, meet at Stone Circle near Devil's Well, December 7th at moonset for 3:04. Okay, so whoever was in the Devil's Mask was participating in this kind of flyer deal. Cannot stand idly by while despicable people wreck wanton destruction, desecrate precious untamed land. We must protect our wild spaces from interlopers bent on ruination. Keep Devil's Well pure. Banish unwelcome adversaries. No more greedy developers. No more construction at CR66. Litter, over 400 empty beer barrels collected on CR66 this month alone. Noise pollution. Loud music at all hours. Normal behavior patterns and wildlife. Senseless slaughter by drunk drivers. There are 5 times more serious collisions at CR66 than any road in the county. It's all seen defensive wireless and harmless house cats destroyed by reckless drivers. Join hands in this ritual to eliminate the false despoiling cigarette walls. No experience required. So yeah. And I think didn't. Let me see the information. Yeah, she often goes about by saying interlopers bent on despoiled life. So she's looking. I think the one looking most suspicious is Joan Campbell at the moment, but we can't assume everything just yet. So Okay, so next up is the addressed envelope. Hint. Okay. Oh yeah, boot photos. Other evidence in the box should help determine who these boots belong to. Okay, so let's see. We already have 2 pieces of evidence. Here, let me kind of... There we go. So right now, the boot photos that we're looking at are this one right here. Let me... As well as this one. And we also have... We also have a boot listing here. So we have this boot pattern here and another boot pattern here. But I think beforehand, let's also see the addressed envelope hints. Try folding the envelope backwards to read the secret message more easily. So, yeah, there's actually a secret message in the corners of this envelope. If you haven't opened the locked deposit bag, try doing that first. There's something inside that will help you crack the cipher, and Nick notes have a hint on correcting the cipher. Okay, so apparently there is a cipher. At the back of this envelope that we're going to have to solve. But back to the boots. So alright, so these boots here are men's boots. This is what was... This is one of the boots in the photos. And there's a diamond shape. Find that. Let's see. Do we have any? I mean, the wood driver can also be the pattern that he was trying not to sketch, because I don't think I'm finding any that are similar. Maybe also this one? That's a good question. And let's see. There's also kind of a diamond one. Okay, so this L berry one seems to be the closest to this one right here. And then there's the one with the cross pattern. Which actually matches this pattern here. So they're all looking to be men-sized. And there's only one male suspect. So yeah, the year of the bottle opener may help you decipher the back of the coaster. Empty matchbox heads. Make sure you check the underside of the matchbox tray. Ooh. The phone number actually works. Try calling it. So there's actually a phone number. Oh, it's getting out of focus. So yeah, that's actually a phone number. So let's actually try calling it, and I will put it on speaker. So 812 202 6104.
Commercial or residential property, please leave a message and I'll be happy to set something up when I get back to Lindsay.
Okay, so that message says that was Donna Goddard's. So, all right. So, yeah, and mentioned about real estate. And then after that, we need to look at the locked deposit bag. So okay, so Carmichael Road, which is Chris Thompson. Okay, interesting. Carmichael residents beware. If you live on Carmichael Road and want to sleep through the night, good luck. I didn't get a wink of sleep last night because my neighbor's inconsiderate hussy of a girlfriend shows up to his house all hours to be as disruptive and powerful. I swear, she knocks over every single thing in his backyard, letting himself into his house. Then she turned on all the lights, which shine right into my bedroom layers. I don't know what possessed her to start playing music so late, but I assume it was intended to annoy me personally. Thankfully, it stopped after a couple of hours, but not before I was robbed of my booty rest. This isn't the first time they've been inappropriately loud. You'd think they had the decency to be ashamed of themselves, but no, they are determined to make a mockery of law-abiding residents in this peaceful community. Hey, I know it's last minute, but anyone is going to the vanishing ceremony up by Devil's World tonight? I see flies for it around town. It sounds cool, but I also don't want to get murdered or whatever. Everyone who knows who's organizing and what their deal is? so update. So I wound going by myself and it was totally bonkers. I got there at like 3 in the morning. It was just me and this lady with a basket of weird herbs. We spent 30 or 40 minutes burning herbs and chanting. At one point I heard something crashing around the underbush and I got word she actually summoned something, but it was just an animal or whatever. Then she hands me this shovel and tells me to start walking. I thought she was going to kill me for sure. Instead, she makes me pick up a dead fox off the side of the highway and carried it over to this old dive bar. She made me put the fox on the ground by the mailbox and then covered it with ashes from the fire and yelled for Vinegar Tom, whatever that means. After that, she thanked me for helping me support the cause and asked if I need help getting back to my car. Anyway, I guess Perdition has its very own witch, but I didn't die. 7 out of 10 would go again. Okay. So, there's a lot of weirdness going on. So, I think Nick's wife was cheating. And as weird as Joan is with all of the stupid cult crap, she might actually have an alibi. So, interesting. Okay, so I have to wonder. Okay, I know the last digit has to be 4 because it is 2004. Now the other question is, what are the first 2? Okay, they have to be... Okay, MMY. So, MM has to be for month. And there's only 3 months that we can do. I think there's October, 10, 11, and 12. So, let's start with... Oh. It's 11. Alright, that unlocked. So we got 3 pieces of evidence. Okay. So... Okay, email print. All right, so we have Nicholas Daniel Webster, of Perdition, Indiana, being of sound mind and not under duress of any kind, and fully aware of the nature and extent of my property and its disposition herein, do hereby declare this document to be my last will and testament, and hereby revoke any and all wills I have previously made. Expenses and taxes. I directed all my outstanding debts, including expenses incurred after my death, such as funeral and burial costs, be paid out of my estate as soon after my death, after it's reasonably possible to do. I further direct that any and all estate and inheritance tax shall be paid out of my estate before the dispension stipulated below. Disposition of property. I bequeath the remainder of my estate to the following beneficiaries. To Joan Lovina Campbell. Alright, Joan Campbell, which is... I think Joan Campbell is Nick's wife. No, that's Sherry Webster. Oh. Yeah. fact, I don't think she was even mentioned in the will at all. Uh-oh. To Joan Lovina Campbell of Perdition, Indiana, by way of apology for the trouble she has suffered because of me, I leave the amount of $5,000 in support of the Save Devil's Well Foundation. Should she fail to survive me or for any reason refuse this request, the amount shall be donated to the Perdition Animal Rescue Society in the name of Vinegar Tom the Cat. I've always felt terrible that the driver who killed your Tom was leaving Old Scratch, and I don't blame you for holding a grudge. I hope this makes things right. I should have done it sooner. Okay. For Donna Marie Goddard of Perdition, Indiana, in recognition of her years of loyal patronage, I provide that she shall receive free drinks at Old Scratch Tavern for the period of her natural life, or for as long as the bar remains in business, whichever is longest. Should she fail to survive me or for any other reason refuse this request, it is not transferable to any other individual. You supported me from the very start, and I want you to know you will always be welcome at Old Scratch. To Carmen Marie Rojas of Perdition, Indiana, as thanks for her steadfast service and honest friendship, I leave the remainder of my estate, including Old Scratch Tavern and all associated assets, the balance of my retirement account, and the payout of my life insurance policy. Should she fail to survive me or for any reason refuse this request, I then devise and bequeath the remainder of my estate to her sister, Christina Elena Rojas. It's the least I can do for you, kiddo. You're the best damn bartender in Indiana and the kind of family I always hope I find. I couldn't leave the bar in better hands. So yeah. Omission. I have intentionally and not as a result of any mistake or inadvertence omitted in this will to provide for my spouse, Sherry Ann Webster. I know you never cared much for the bar, but I thought at least you still cared for me. I was a fool to think so, but better than a fool than a liar, I guess. Oh, I think she was cheating with Chris. So yeah, that is huge, huge. Webster, who also has a code message, and the keywords are 407. Because yeah, there's a good chance that the murder was done by the two of them. So yeah, that's this right here. Okay, then there's also the dates of the emails with the dates of the men. Okay, so the first date is November 21st. Oh no, first date is November 23rd. Then there's November 8th, October 25th, October 21st, and October 18th. Okay, so November 18th. Mr. Taver, thank you for taking the time to, or maybe not cheating. Maybe she was actually concerned and wanted to ask for help on behalf of Nick. Mr. Taver, thank you for taking the time to speak with us this morning. My husband and I have been so troubled by what's happening at the bar, and honestly, it'd be such a relief to not to worry anymore. Running Old Scratch means so much, Nick, but these days I can't shake the feeling that something terrible will happen to him. As you can imagine, he's been preoccupied recently, so he asked me to handle the sale directly. Oh, the sale of the bar. I hope you understand. Mrs. Webster, of course, that'd be no trouble at all. I'd be happy to discuss the details of our offer with you over the phone at your earliest convenience. I'd agree to find it by reasonable. Oh, this is the email. Oh, so maybe not so much cheating. She just wants him to get rid of the bar. Okay. The code repeats is right and works on the other envelope code. This is a shift cipher, but each is shifted by a different note. These are obtained by repeatedly writing the street number of the average address over the letter of each code. Okay, so this is the... Okay, so the timestamp... Okay, so we're gonna start doing the reveals. But we're gonna kind of save some of them. Okay, the timestamp on the bottom of the phone is 3:30 a.m., providing the approximate time of death for Nick. The individual is holding a lit match. This is the person who's been lighting fires in around the bar. With the individual, the dumbass appears to be 6 feet tall. The angle is misleading because the camera's pointed outward. It's making the individual and the dumbass taller than they actually are. They are closer to 5'6", which is the height of Joan Campbell. Crime scene photo. The boot is in the Wood Driver Forest and can be found on page 6 of the boot shred list. Which is a man's boot. The matchbook in the photo is the one that Devil was holding in security camera photo, not the one left by Donna at the bar. This could be inferred from Carmen's notes on Donna's suspect profile. The letters in the notes are cut out from the ritual flyer and the bar menu. This could be Joan or someone trying to frame Joan sending the messages. Because the flyers are posted around town, anyone could have access to the ritual flyers and menu. Here, I'll make this bigger here. Nick's notes revealed. The boot tread Nick sketch matches the Wood Driver Forest, the same boot that left the print at the crime scene. Nick's anniversary is in November. The code repeats is a clue to solving the cipher used on the 2 envelopes. By repeating the address over and over again, we get the shift numbers to crack the code. So, that is reference to this number here. Posted from the bar view. Okay, so anniversary is 11-4. This code can be used to open the car's bag. Okay, we need to talk about Devil's Wildland. Wednesday, 11 p.m. This is Donna trying to say to Nick. This is in reference to the town trying to sell the land around Nick's bar. 11 p.m. does not fit the Nick's time of death, and he did not die on Wednesday. So the meeting is not when the murder happened. So yeah, Donna, I think out of all of them, Donna's pretty good. And also, Chris is in the clear too. So the citation is for a single silver Lincoln, the same car that Donna drives. The timestamp is 3:31 a.m., giving Donna an alibi for the time of Nick's murder, and the badge number is Chris's, meaning he was the officer ticketing Donna, which also gives him an alibi for the time of Nick's murder. And the ritual started at 3:04 a.m. Combining this image with the Good Fences printout timeline, we also learned that Joan has an alibi. The set of boots do not match the crime scene photo. Print belonged to Joan. The Wood Driver Fortress boots are on the back of a Toyota. From the suspect profile, we know that Chris drives a Toyota. We also know from Sherry's cipher note that she asked... Oh wait, that's too early. The phone number belongs to Donna. This further solidifies that she wanted Nick to call her about the land deal, hoping over Donna's well. Along with the ritual fire, we could see the timeline document to get an alibi for Joan. The ritual started at 3:04 a.m. and went for 30 or 40 minutes. The crashing through the underbrush would have happened around the time Nick gave chase to the devil. Joan was with Mia this entire time, so she could not be the murderer. Furthermore, we learned that while Joan isn't the murderer, she is the person responsible for leaving dead animals around Old Scratch Tavern. Chris lives on Carmichael Road. The disturbances was coming from his house, but we might know from his notes that he was on duty at the time. The noise was from Sherry, who was spending at night at a friend's. The noise is Sherry attempting to create an alibi for herself before borrowing Chris's personal vehicle, the Toyota. So yeah, I think Sherry's looking pretty sus right now. Okay. To To solve the message, repeatedly write the numbers 131 from the street address in front of the envelope over the letters of the message. Then shift each letter backward by the number written over it. You should get the following. So, can't wait to see you. Mind if I borrow the car again? See. This note is from Sherry to Chris. The timeline of the notes works with a traffic citation to further solidify Chris's alibi at the time of Nick's murder. And the set of boots that do not match the crime scene photo print belong to Joan. The Wood Driver Fortress boots are in the back of Toyota. From the suspect profiles, we know that Chris drives a Toyota. We also know from Sherry Severin notes that she asked to borrow Chris's car. Okay. And email printout. This document shows that Sherry was trying to sell the Old Scratch Tavern without Nick's consent. When he discovered this information, he cut Sherry out of his will. The document shows to the extent which the Webster's marriage is falling apart. It also provides the context for why Joan hates the bar. To solve this message, repeatedly write the numbers 407 over the message, then shift each letter backward by the number written over it. You should get the following. Anytime, wish it were just us without your old man in the way. This note is said from Chris to Sherry. Ooh, so there is some cheating going on. So yeah, I think at this point Sherry is the one. Okay, so means while any one of the suspect is capable of murdering someone by pushing them off the cliff, not all of them had access to the boots worn by the murderer. The pair of Wood Driver Fortress boots were in the back of Chris's car. From the coded messages, we also know Sherry had access to Chris's car. Motive. Of the four suspects, only Donna does not have a strong motive to want Nick dead. Joan still blames Nick for the death of her cat and believes the bar is detrimental to the community. Chris and Sherry are having an affair, and getting rid of Nick would make both of their lives easier. On top of that, Sherry wants Nick to sell the bar, and he has been unwilling to do so. With him out of the way, she could finally be rid of Old Scratch Tavern and get out of perdition. From the security camera photo, we know the devil was outside Old Scratch Tavern at 3:33 a.m., and we know from the newspaper article that Nick died minutes after giving chase to the devil. This puts the time of death around 3:35. Joan has an alibi for this time because the ritual started at 3:04 and went on for 30 to 40 minutes, and immediately afterwards she instructed Mia to help her leave another dead animal outside the bar. Donna and Chris also have an alibi, as Chris was giving Donna a ticket at 3:31 a.m. Meanwhile, Sherry has no alibi. She attempted to give herself one by causing a disturbance at Chris's house around 2:30, but we know she has access to Chris's car and is the correct type to be the person in the devil mask. Sherry is the only suspect to have the means, motive, and opportunity to be a killer. Okay, enter my email address below to receive an exclusive epilogue that contains more detail about the crime. Can I do that? Here, hold on. Let me go back. Exclusive epilogue. I wonder what the solution says. I wonder if let's see. No crop layout. So yeah, actually it turns out she was having an affair. But she also had extra motivation to to be rid of her husband. given the fact that she also did not like the bar. Okay. So, alright. Let's see now. Okay, so Webster's death is a murder. Suspect arrested. The death of Old Scratch Tavern owner Nicholas Webster has been reclassified to a murder according to official paperwork filed this week. The Webster's December 7th death was initially ruled an accident. The case was recently reopened as a homicide. Sheriff Paul McGinty confirmed the suspect is now in custody in the connection with Webster's death. Sherry Webster, the victim's widow, has been charged with the murder of her husband, the motive of which is believed to be financial gain. The sheriff's office announced there be an external inquiry into the handling of the investigation into Webster's death. While Sheriff McGinty will not discuss the scope of this inquiry, he did confirm that Deputy Christopher Thompson, the officer in charge of the original investigation, has been suspended without pay. According to Carmen Rojas, an employee of the bar, Mr. Webster, the case was solved thanks to new evidence uncovered by a private investigator. None of this would have happened without the help of Gray Investigations. I will always be grateful to the investigator who helped my case. And a little thank you note. Hello, investigator. Nice work. Thanks to you, Sherry Webster is behind bars, and your client Carmen found justice for her friend. I knew you were up to this challenge, but I'll be turning to you to help on future cases too. Congrats on your success. Yep. Okay, I know we didn't do a lot of the stupid code solving. Yeah, but you know, this is going on for quite a bit, and I'm probably gonna save the other one for later. So what we'll do is I will keep saying enter my email below. Where do I enter my email? Where do I go for the exclusive epilogue? Oh, screw it. I think that was the epilogue, I think. So yeah, made a little bit of a mess, but this was pretty fun though. Yeah, I kind of figured the moment I opened up the will, and that the wife was excluded from the will, that was like the biggest red flag for me. It's like, and the fact that with the email, that's how he found out that she was trying to sell the bar behind Nick's back. So it's like, and with the deputy and with the other three people having a solid alibi, it's like, ooh. I mean, that was enough for me to figure it out without deciphering the code. I realized that I might have kind of cut it a little bit short, but you know, this was actually pretty fun though. And I definitely want to do the other two at some point, although I'm not sure how I would handle the jigsaw puzzle. So yeah, I thought this was gonna go a little bit quicker, because it's already 10:30, and I still gotta put all this stuff back as well as put back my original streaming setup. So, with all of that said, I think I am going to call it a night. I'll figure out the when to do like a body on the boardwalk. Some point. Maybe I'll save it for next Halloween. I don't know, or maybe I'll just do like a special bonus stream of sorts. But with all of that said, this is Matt, your local friendly gamer. I appreciate you for tuning in. I hope you had yourself a good time. And enjoy your Halloween. So with all that said, take care and have yourself a safe